Hello everyone, I am Asit and this is my YouTube channel, and today we will study about various methods of SCR turning on process. So what are the commonly used turn on methods? So first one is forward voltage triggering, second one temperature triggering, third one dV by dt triggering, and the fourth one light triggering, here it is written, and fifth one gate triggering. So this is the most common and most accepted method of triggering a SCR, that is gate triggering. So we'll study it about one by one. So what is a forward voltage triggering? In forward voltage triggering, we will connect a voltage source around anode and cathode, and the connection is like this. The positive terminal of the voltage source is connected to the anode and the negative terminal is connected to the cathode. So we will analyze this circuit firstly having Ig equal to 0, that is there is no gate pulse applied in the gate terminal. So when Ig equal to 0 and with this forward voltage, the J1 and J3 junction will be forward biased. Why it is forward biased? As this is connected to anode is connected to the positive terminal of the battery. So here P is connected to the positive and here N is connected to the negative side. So when P is positive with respect to N, then this PN junction diode will get forward biased. This PN junction diode will get forward biased. So this J1 junction is forward biased. Similarly, as this N type semiconductor is connected to the negative terminal of the battery, so this PN junction diode will get forward biased. That is, the J3 junction is forward biased, but the J2 junction is reverse biased because this N is connected to the positive, that is, this N is positive with respect to this P. Such this N is at higher potential than P, so this J2 junction is reverse biased, that is, a depletion layer will form over here. So this is the depletion layer. So whenever we will increase the value of the VAK or V anode to cathode, then at a point of the voltage that is called as VBO or forward breakover voltage, this PN junction diode or this depletion layer will get vanished, that is, it will face avalanche breakdown. So when avalanche breakdown occurs, this J2 junction will become conductive. So when this will conduct? Whenever you have a value VAK greater than equal to forward breakover voltage, this depletion layer breaks down and it allows the flow of current. So before forward breakover voltage, we have a very small amount of current, that is leakage current flowing through this device. So after forward breakover voltage, the current or anode current starts rising and it will become constant after some time. So हम लोग कैसे रिलायबली टर्न ऑन करेंगे एससीआर को? एससीआर कैसे रिलायबल टर्न ऑन होता है? ऐसा नहीं है कि हम लोग फॉरवर्ड बैकवर्ड वोल्टेज दे दिया और ये टर्न ऑन हो गया. So to turn on a SCR, the anode current must rise up to a level which is called latching current. The anode current IA must be greater than latching current IL. So you all know about the latching current. The latching current is the minimum value of the current above which our anode current must rise so that this device will get reliably turned on. So step 1, increase this voltage up to forward breakover voltage. Step 2, check whether this anode current is greater than IL or latching current or not. Then our device will be turned on completely by forward voltage triggering method. Remember, we have not applied any signal over the gate, that is Ig equal to 0 in forward voltage triggering method first. Then we will learn about temperature triggering. So what is a temperature triggering looks like? We will know the reverse leakage current. The reverse leakage current is directly proportional to the temperature. That is, if temperature increases, number of hole and electron pair increases and leakage current increases. So further, it will increase the current gain of the system. So when current gain increases, regenerative action started. So due to this, our alpha 1 and alpha 2, the summation of the alpha 1 and alpha 2 value approaches unity. So you have already known that from the equation of the anode current is inversely proportional to the alpha 1 and alpha 2, as anode current is proportional to 1 by 1 minus alpha 1 plus alpha 2. So whenever this alpha 1 plus alpha 2 value will near to the unity, then we will have a much higher current of the anode. So when anode current increases above the latching current level, then our device will get turned on. So temperature increases, number of electron and hole pair increases, leakage current increases, further current gain increases, regenerative action takes place. So alpha 1 plus alpha 2 value closes to unity, and we have a very high amount of anode current that is flowing through this device. So our J2 junction will get conduct or in conduction mode, and our SCR will turned on. So what are the disadvantages of thermal or temperature triggering? In this case, thermal runaway happens. So it will damage our SCR. And when device temperature is very, very much, sometimes false triggering also happens. And this is not preferable at all. So we don't want false triggering to happen to our device, that is SCR. So it has two disadvantages. So it is not preferable method of starting a SCR, that is temperature triggering method is not practically accepted. Similarly, we have also some disadvantages in forward voltage triggering. So what are these? This VBO or forward breakover voltage has a very high value. So this VBO value is in the range of thousands of volts. So when this value is in the range of thousands of volts, how will we get this value? Because the supply voltage is 230 volts. So to get this value, I have to connect a transformer so that this will step up the 230 volt to the range of VBO or forward breakover voltage range. So then only our SCR will get turned on. So by connecting an additional transformer, the system will get bulkier. So this is the main disadvantages of forward voltage triggering. So now we will discuss about dV by dt triggering. This is very conceptual, so mind it. So forward blocking state में क्या होता है? J1 and J3 gets forward biased. So you all know about forward blocking and forward conduction mode. Forward blocking state is also called as off state. Initially our device is in off state, and then we convert or we shift our forward blocking state to forward conduction state by various procedures, and I am discussing that procedures. So in forward blocking state, this J1 and J3 is forward biased and J2 is reverse biased. So this is like a capacitor with J1 and J3 junction or act as a conducting plate. This is like a capacitor having J1 and J3 junctions acting as a conducting plates. and J2, as this is reverse biased, this will act as a dielectric medium. So as this is a depletion, as J2 junction is having a depletion layer, so we have space charges in the depletion region. So this is looking like a capacitor. So what is the equation of charging current? The equation of charging current of a capacitor is I equal to C dV by dt. This I is also called as anode current in this analysis. This I is nothing but our anode current, and C is the capacitance of the junction. So when voltage increases, this voltage is VAK, anode to cathode voltage, VAK. So whenever in forward voltage triggering method we are increasing this voltage, if the rate of change of voltage increase with respect to time is more, if the rate of change of voltage increase is more, then what will happen? This anode current will be very high. That is, the charging current will be very high. So our anode current increases and the SCR turns on without any gate signal before the forward breakover voltage. So in forward voltage triggering we are increasing this value, and before attaining a value VBO, due to higher dV by dt, this SCR gets turned on, and this is also called as false triggering, as this is unwanted. And this also causes high voltage spike across the SCR, and this high voltage spike will damage our SCR. So I think you have understood it. What is dV by dt triggering? That is, initially our device is in forward blocking state. So in forward blocking state, J1 J3 forward biased, J2 is reverse biased. So this J1 and J3 junction will act as a conducting plate, and this J2 junction will act as a dielectric medium. So we have space charges in the depletion region near the J2 junction. So this will look like a capacitor, and as we know, the charging current of a capacitor is directly proportional to the dV by dt. So I is our anode current. So when we start increasing our anode to cathode voltage, if the rate of change of voltage is sufficiently high so that our anode current will go past a value of latching current, then false triggering happens. That is, this triggering is unwanted. So why it is called as false triggering? Because the SCR will get turned on even before the forward breakover voltage. The SCR will get turned on even before the forward breakover voltage, and while Ig equal to 0, or our gate current is 0, which is undesirable in forward voltage triggering, as we have no control over the instance of triggering of the SCR. कुछ कंट्रोल हमारा नहीं रहेगा SCR का ट्रिगरिंग से. So now the third method is light triggering. This is also known as light activated SCR. Light activated SCR, or LASCR. This is the basic symbol of light activated SCR. This is the basic symbol. So how SCR will turn on by this method? So this is light radiation. So light rays of appropriate wavelength and intensity are allowed to strike the J2 junction. So then what will happen? Electron and hole pair generates at junction J2. So we have additional charge carriers and the junction which eventually turns on the SCR. So what happens? I am again telling you people When light radiation of appropriate wavelength and intensity strikes the junction J2, additional electron and hole pair generates, and so we have additional charge carriers at junction J2 which eventually turns on the SCR. This is very simple. And this method of triggering is employed in the phase controlled converters. So where this phase control converters used, this phase control converters you find in HVDC or high voltage DC transmission system. So now we will learn about the most common method of triggering, that is gate triggering. So when SCR is in forward biasing or forward blocking mode, sufficient voltage at gate terminal injects electrons into the J2 junction. So if you have sufficient amount of voltage at the gate terminal, this will inject some electrons into the J2 junction. So the leakage current increases and J2 junction depletion layer breaks down even before you have a anode to cathode voltage of VBO. So even before our forward breakover voltage, our J2 junction depletion layer will breaks down. So this is the basic concept of gate triggering. You have to do nothing. So we have to connect a voltage source at gate terminal, and this will inject some electrons into the J2 junction. So our leakage current will increase and J2 junction depletion layer will break down even before the forward breakover voltage. So this gate current value varies from few milliamperes to 200 milliamperes. This is standard. This Ig varies from few milliamperes to 200 milliamperes. So this is the forward biasing characteristics. Initially our Ig equal to 0. So breakdown occurs at a voltage equal to forward breakover voltage. This is the leakage current graph. So here at this voltage which is less than breakover voltage, I am applying a certain amount of gate current, and that gate current is not equals to 0 and is greater than the initial Ig value, that is 0. So this Ig or this amount of gate current will allow the SCR to turn on at a voltage which is lower than the forward breakover voltage, that is this VBO dash or this anode to cathode voltage is lower than our forward breakover voltage when we apply some gate current or certain amount of gate current through the gate terminal. So when I increase this gate current value, that is Ig2, Ig2 is greater than Ig1. So when I increase this gate current value, then what will happen? More number of electrons will enter to the J2 junction. So the leakage current will be more. So even a value less than VBO dash, even at the voltage less than VBO dash, we will have the J2 junction conducting. So when Ig increases, this forward breakover voltage decreases. This is the common concept or most important concept you have to understand. So when I increases the gate current value, more number of electrons will start flow into the junction. So even my breakover voltage is decreasing. So this is the common concept. That is, initially my graph goes like this. This is the leakage current. This will go up to this forward breakover voltage, and then the J2 junction starts conducting, and this is my current. This will look like my current, and now Ig is not equal to 0, so we will have a breakdown of the J2 junction at a much lower value of the forward breakover voltage. Now the graph is like this. Now again I am increasing my gate current value, so again my forward breakover voltage decreases. Now my graph is looking like this. So whenever I am increasing the gate current value, my forward breakdown voltage decreases. That's how we can control the instance of triggering. So this is all about gate triggering method. So these are the most common types of triggering methods, and gate triggering method is widely used. So if you have any doubt, please let me know in the comment section, or you can have my WhatsApp number. You can contact me over here if you have any doubt, or you can directly call me. Thank you guys.